Yes, sir. We with another episode of Real Spit with your boy Spitty. Let's get right into it. So first of all, shout out to Atlanta, not Atlanta. It's Atlanta. And please, will y'all folks stop saying hot Atlanta? Like, man, I had somebody say the other day, like, yeah, man, how's it down in hot Atlanta? I don't never want to hear hot Atlanta, bro. Like, that is so outdated. That's so out of there. Like, please don't call it that, like, for real. I feel like, man, folks don't even like to say ATL no more. Like, it's Atlanta. Like, straight up. You know what I'm saying? We down here in Atlanta. We getting it in. But welcome to another episode of Real Spit. It's your boy Spitty. Let's get right into it. So, first thing I want to talk about is spreading them positive vibrations. It's important. You got to do it forcefully. You got to be intentional with it. People ask me, how do I, get my positive vibrations? How do I get it going? I like to start with waking up on the right side of the bed, getting some good sleep, getting some good rest, that's super important, first of all, making sure you get that adequate rest. Then, I pray for real. Like I've gotten really intentional just with how I start my day and knowing that how I start my day is how I'm going to finish my day. Every day is not perfect, but, something that I've started doing is I'll sit down, pray, like don't touch my phone, don't check, any social media or my messages or none of that. I just put my phone to the side. I sit down, do some breathing techniques, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I do that about 10 times and then I pray and I do it out loud. I ask God, to bless, the people that I love and the people around me. I ask God to bless my haters, because I love them too. Straight up, I love y'all too, for real. Love my haters. Appreciate them, for real, because it drives me to keep doing what I'm doing. It drives me to be a better person. It drives me to keep moving within my purpose, but not to focus on haters. But I do intentionally pray, talk out loud. That's a part of manifestation. That's how you put out there into the universe, what you want back. I give thanks for another day of living. Thanks for another opportunity to be great, another opportunity to breathe this air and to, live this beautiful life. And then I start asking, for certain things that I want spiritually, just asking that I continue to, be in tap with my spirit and be in tune with, the world and the energy and everything around me. I'm thankful for discernment, that I have and, having the ability of when I get that gut feeling about something, moving in that and not questioning myself too much. Even though that's something a lot of us do, question, ourselves and maybe, have some hesitation, with certain things. But I ask for, forgiveness for, times where I may have done things wrong, where I may have, treated people wrong and not have even known it or you know what I mean? Like you got to ask for forgiveness. It's super important. And then I also, like I said, I manifest, the things that I want spiritually, monetarily, the material things that I want, because we could sit here and talk about, it's not about material things and this and that, but we all want things. We all want nice things. We all like nice things. So there's nothing wrong with asking for those things. You just can't make that, the basis of, how you count your blessings. Your blessings aren't based on what you receive, on the material side of things. Your blessings really come from how you are to people, helping people. What can you do with your gifts to, make people feel good? What types of opportunities can you, put the people around you in front of? So, that's what really counts the most is, how you utilize your blessings that you have to help someone else, to be blessed. And, sometimes it's the little things that we can do. It's making a call to somebody and giving them some affirmations. Something that I actually spoke on recently when I was talking to Q from 112 was, he was talking about, with some of the men's groups and organizations that he runs, how he makes it important, for men to give other men affirmation. It's all good. Like we have our girlfriends, our wives, our ladies like giving us affirmations and things like that. And then it feels good for sure. But then it also feels good when, when someone who's going through some of the same things that we going through can give us those affirmations and can help to, just push that positive energy into us. So, pause if I got to say that. But no, it's super important for us to, be able to give and receive those affirmations. And I think we need to practice that a lot more, telling our partners that we're proud of them, recognizing, different things that we see our people going through and, talking about that. And again, being able to like give our people's props and things like that, because it go a real long way. Another part of me, stepping into positive vibes is that I try to, make sure that I have as many positive habits as possible. And it could be small things. Like one thing that I always talk about is, it's about like, setting like those little goals and accomplishing them, checking stuff off the checklist. So what I do after I pray is I make my bed. As small as of accomplishment as that seems, it's honestly one of the biggest accomplishments starting the day. And for me, it helps to set the tone of my day, because when I come home after a long day, one of the last things that you want to do or almost be stressed with is having to make your bed. So having a good, clean, made bed to be able to get into after a long day is just proof at the end of the day that, you started your day by accomplishing something. So I always tell, my people that work with me, interns, different people like that, when I'm giving them advice, I tell them like, make sure that you make your bed first thing when you wake up, and don't allow yourself to, move around and do too much without accomplishing that. I wash my face, brush my teeth, and I say that and it might sound so simple, but a lot of us move so fast and do so much without doing like some of those simple, basic things that, it's really easy to just let like some of those things slip by and then find yourself in a rush. I don't do this anymore, but I used to, the night before have an idea of what I'm gonna wear the next day and would try to lay my clothes out, but I won't front. I don't do that no more. Because honestly, like I'm a mood person when it comes to what I'm wearing. So I never really know what I'm gonna wear. Like it's kind of like when I get up, what mood I'm in, like what colors I want to coordinate with, different things like that. So, but just having like those couple of, things in place, when you wake up is super important. Make myself breakfast. I always eat a good breakfast because that's like the best way to start the morning, even if it's simple with just some oatmeal, something like that, a couple boiled eggs or something, for some protein. I definitely make sure to eat breakfast so that I start my day like with some good energy, and, can maneuver and not get into my day and, feel burnt out already by lunchtime. So, that's super important for me. Also, what I do first thing in the morning is I check my to-do list. And normally what I do is in the morning, I write my to-do list for the day. And then by the end of the day, I'm checking that to-do list, seeing what I was able to check off. And then basically the next morning, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the to-do list from the night before, and then I'm adding on to it for whatever task that I didn't complete. And I also had to learn to not beat myself up for not completing every task on my list, because the list is just to, keep you on point. It's simple things, but if you, get into, forcing yourself to have positive habits, like that'll definitely help you and getting some positive vibrations going and being able to like even spread those vibes to other people. Also make sure I work out in the morning. That's the best time for me to work out, because I feel like that just sets the tone for the rest of my day. And if it's a day where I got to be up super early and I got to be up so early that I can't get to the gym, then I'll definitely, get it in the afternoon and night. But for the most part, like the gym is a huge part of mine starting the day and get my positive vibrations. So again, get some positive habits going. And make that the basis of how you start your day, because then that'll be how you will end your day. And that's super important. That's real stick from your boy Spit.